Hello, everyone. How are you? Laleh Hancock here. As some of you guys will get this who may not already be connected to my Facebook. You know, it's December 30th in the US. Different times, different day, depending on where you are and you're watching this. And I just got off a Create call with some amazing people from around the world. And just for a moment, I just had to be present with what we just created together, the energy that got created, but also like what people were willing to be. Like put away their whatever points of views and just create something that's going to create greater for all of us, not just for them. And I thought of my call right before that and the call right before that. And there's a level of gratitude that just was in my body that just wanted to sing and just speak and be able to share that with the world. And I just wonder, like, how many of you have acknowledged the gift that you actually are and the ways that you keep contributing to everything? I did a post yesterday. I was the quote from Steve Jobs just kept coming up about, being able to change the world. The people that are willing to change the world do. And it really brought up a lot of memories of different choices that I've made, different ways that I've always looked, not just for me, but like, what can I contribute to that creates something greater for majority of people? Now, I would say 10 years ago, I probably didn't use the word the world. I didn't speak from that perspective. I looked at it as maybe 100,000 people or 1 million people. Like I didn't look at it as what I was creating was actually something that touched countries outside of the US. And now I realize, like, whether we realize it or not, you are a gift. You, just by saying hi on Facebook, you just bring the sparkle of energy out there, even to people who aren't connected to you and aren't your friends right now. So it is the butterfly effect. We've heard it. Something happening in one area, a butterfly, something happens here and a butterfly somewhere in a whole other part of the world, flips its wings. We're part of this amazing oneness of the world. And even if you have a rough day, it domino effects. Even if you have a great day, it domino effects. And each of us has a choice if we want it to be that it ruins our day or makes us happy, whatever, that's your choice. But there's this gift with each of us. And, I've worked in business long enough. I mean, over 30 years of different kinds of things in different industries. I've worked with lots of different kinds of personalities and different people from different industries and different ways that they were motivated or different ways that they were inspired and created. And one thing that I realized is that I never had a point of view about who they were. Other people could dislike them. Other people may have a difficult time working with them, but I was always willing to work with anybody. And I realized it now that it was because I wasn't willing to have judgments about them. It's really funny. So I'm wondering, like, how much can you acknowledge of how different you are or the gifts that you have that you take for granted? I remember saying literally these words, that when I meet someone, it's a clean slate. No matter what they've done to someone else, no matter what they've said to someone else, unless they do something to me, I am just going to be with them. I'm going to like them. I'm going to blah, blah, blah. And I used to have a lot of different words for it before, but it was that clean slate. And I found there were moments I was blindsided because I wasn't willing to be aware of who they really are. I had a conversation yesterday with a family member that I adore, and she wanted to go into like blaming people. And I was just like, what if it's not about blame? What if every single one of us is nice? What if every single one of us is kind? What if every single one of us is an asshole? But you can focus on the asshole part, or you can focus on, you know what? It doesn't matter. I'm going to know they are everything, and I'm going to keep my awareness to everything and not judge them and let go of yesterday and make it be a clean slate. And I realized that that is one of the gifts of gratitude that I actually have. I am grateful for everyone in my life, even the people that I would consider difficult, you know, and even difficult is a judgment of that moment. So, like, what if we could be grateful for everything? Everything. Every situation that we thought was difficult, every person we thought was difficult, everything we thought was a problem. Like most of us, it's the end of the year, all the shopping's happened, New Year's Eve is coming, how much money have you spent? So many people talk about it, about a money problem. What if you don't have a money problem? What would you do? Seriously, if you actually didn't have to worry about money ever again, where else would you put your energy? What else would you add to your life today? So what if you could be grateful for everything you have, even that penny that you have? If you have it, most people kind of toss it out, but be grateful for it. What else would it create for tomorrow? I wonder. I really, really wonder. And so many of us are looking at New Year's resolutions. I don't do that anymore because New Year's resolutions was really about what didn't work in 2018 that I can fix in 2019, but I have targets. And then I ask the business what it desires, and it has targets. And last night I was actually recording the Grow Your Business video club and talking about the new year and different things with businesses. And I was reminded once again how different my perspectives are, even about business, about money, about relationships, about everything. And being grateful for you being different. I had a very difficult conversation with my kids a few days ago, and one that most people would go to blame or, you know, do different things. And my kids, the fact that I had no point of view about it, the fact that I was in gratitude, and I am, it's not like I'm doing it to fake it, it's being in gratitude. What made the conversation so easy for them. Yes, there's actions we have to take. Yes, there's things that are going to change. Yes, we have to do some different stuff. But the gratitude was there, that energy of truly, I don't know the words, but there's something when you're grateful that doesn't allow anything else, that doesn't match that energy to be there. There's no judgment, there's no defense, there's no trying to blame or shame or do anything of anyone else. It's just possibilities. So what if this year, so many people have messaged me, I've talked to so many in private sessions about they're killing their business, they have all sorts of money problems, they're getting divorced, like all of it is focused on the problems, right? That's okay. You can contact me for problems, that's okay. But one of the things that I realized is the minute they flipped it and they were no longer focused on the problem, it was about creation, it was about possibilities, everything changed. Everything that seemed so dreadful and difficult went away. And then they could actually explore ways that they could grow their life, grow their business, or whatever that is. So what if there will be difficult conversations? What if there will be situations that just seem, I don't even know how to get out of bed today. But if you took that extra step forward, don't have to be liking anyone, but being grateful for one thing in your life. It doesn't even have to be about the person or the situation. be grateful for one thing. What if that could be grateful for you? What if there's, I know it's so easy. We judge ourselves for everything. We say we did this wrong. We didn't do this. I didn't do that. But there's so many things that you are amazing at that you be and do every day. So what if those moments that are so difficult, it seems like nothing's going for you correctly and you just don't even know where to start, like have one space of gratitude. I did a whole 3-month program in 2018 in January. It's called the Gratitude Diet. And it's funny, it was a diet because some people wanted it for their weight and their body, but it really was about adding gratitude to every part of your life, including your relationship with your body. And it changed so much for people. Like, people were blown away. Not only did they lose money, they added more, lose weight, they added more money, they were happier, they had gratitude for everything. Because gratitude is one of those beyond this reality concepts. It takes you out of having to be right or wrong or good or bad or make anybody else right or wrong or good or bad, and actually allow the universe that's continuously gifting information to you, that's continuously gifting you everything you're asking for, and allowing you to receive it. We ask. We have so many asks. Today I want to do this. Today I want to have this. The ask is step one. There's the receiving. And many of us receive and we never acknowledge. So it is about acknowledgement too. I can't remember. I'm doing a call. I think it's February. Ask, receive, acknowledge. Because it is. Like, when we don't, it's like it's here. But it looks so different than what we can imagine or what we think we asked for. But what if everything you've ever asked for has already been received? If you'd be grateful for you and you'd be grateful for whatever has shown up in your life, how much more ease could show up in your life? How much more gratitude could show up in your life? And that's the piece. I looked at 2017. I haven't done it yet for 2018. I trained 16 translators in 17. And I was looking at all the different people that my business contributed to in 2017. And that's the gift of it, is there's so many amazing people that want to contribute to you, contribute to what you're creating and your being. Will you let them in? I don't even know what it is for 2018. It's going to be so much higher than that. And it's been such a gift. And it's not about people working with you. I've just had the great pleasure of meeting so many incredible people around the world, and just by being with them, whether it was online or in person, it's gifted so much to my life. So as you guys are looking at 2018 and you're looking at 2019, I really wonder, what could you be grateful for that you were already being and doing? And what did you add to your life that you haven't acknowledged yet? Because someone's smile can melt everything. So how many people did you smile to? You don't have to know. I'm just making it as an example. But how many people smiled at you and maybe melted away things? So I'm just wondering, how much are we all gifting and receiving from everyone and everything in the world we haven't acknowledged yet? You don't have to cognitively acknowledge it, but if you're willing to energetically acknowledge all of it, what else could that add to what you're being and doing and creating for now and the future? Yeah. Daniela says, Target, so excited about this new perspective of no judgment. What great possibilities are available. And, I don't know, Facebook is funny and it's also such a gift. I mean, without Facebook, I wouldn't even be able to do this and talk to you guys. So what about the systems? What about the resources? What about all the things that you've already put in place that you utilize that expand your life and your business as well? Have you even been grateful for that? My phone, I'm so grateful for my phone and my computer. I mean, between them, I mean, I could do anything and everything around the world. And this morning I started texting, you know, WhatsApp and all this other stuff, messages. And then around 7:30 my time, my phone went half frozen. It's really weird. Like it brought up some Google Docs and I can't get out of that and it's frozen. It lets me see certain things, but it won't let me shut down my phone. It won't let me reset. It won't let me do anything else. And it's been really funny because my first official call today was supposed to be on WhatsApp. So of course we connected on Zoom instead. And I was just laughing. I was like, I can get mad. I can get mad at my phone. I can get mad at the technology. What's that going to create? Instead, I was like, okay, what's right about this? I'm not kidding. And I started to be grateful for my phone. And I was like, okay, I get what you're saying. Okay, but can you hook a sister up? Can you like make it more easy for me? There's a lot of different things I got to do with you today. And still no. But I wonder what's possible after this gratitude Facebook Live. Maybe something else. It doesn't matter. You know, I'm not going to make it significant and it will work out because I know me. I will make it work out somehow. But what about that for you guys? You know, someone put on my Facebook page, you know, something about strength. And I was reminded a few years ago, and this might be fun if you guys want to do it. A few years ago, I was part of a program, and one of our activities was to find a friend that we trust or someone we felt comfortable with, and just have them share information with you about you. Because those are the things that you probably don't even notice about you and you kind of take for granted because they're just you being you. And one of my dearest friends, it was really interesting. She said, "You're so strong and you take risks I'm not willing to take." And I was like, oh, like I never looked at myself as a strong person. I just looked at myself as Laleh, you know, like you don't look at yourself as strength. And she said, "You got divorced when your twins were less than 2. You took a job that was 100% commission. Not only did you make money, but you opened all these other possibilities with your kids and your life." And then she started to share more and more and more. And it was so funny because when she was sharing it with me, I never looked at it as someone with strength or willing to take risks would do those things. I looked at it more as, of course, I would do anything to take care of me and my kids, give my kids the life that, you know, the best life back then is what I would have said. And what was really interesting is like that whisper kept popping up the last few days as well, is how many of us think we're so normal because we're being us. It's just like, of course, I'm going to go here because this didn't work, so I'm going to try this. You know, it's just this natural part of you being you that just brings you to that space of other possibilities. But that's not normal to the whole world. So have you acknowledged that? Have you acknowledged the ease that you actually have in your world? Have you acknowledged the gift that you are by just smiling? You know, I said that earlier, but it just keeps coming back. Like, what action do you think you have to take to acknowledge the gift that you are? What if there's no action? What if the action is just your acknowledgement of you are who you are? Okay, now what else is possible for you to add? You know, all of us as infinite beings, we are every energy. I never understood that until I got into Access. The willingness to be everything. Like, I remember in 1997, I was in California and we had an earthquake. And I was in high school. And my mom, who worries about everything, literally, we sneeze, she would take us to the doctors. Like, my mom worried about every single thing. But we had this earthquake where the house was shaking, and she was calm. She was like, okay, come stand in between the door. And I remember, like, I was shocked. Like, one, there's an earthquake. I'd never felt an earthquake before, but how calm my mom was. And she didn't make it a big deal. Like, she literally was willing to be whatever was required that moment to handle the situation. And the good news about California, yeah, you had an earthquake. Now it's time for you to go to school. So we drove to school after the earthquake. And then we were at school in the, the grass area where there's no buildings. I just find it hilarious because nothing stops people in LA to go to school. And, it's that piece of gratitude for you. Like, truly, I think a lot of us think we're not strong. But what if you are? When those problems or these situations come up, are you calm? Are you cool? Are you just trying to, find the easiest, best way to deal with it? Or do you panic or freak out? Most of us do not panic and freak out, which is the opposite of what you would think it is. Isn't that funny? Isn't that funny? So even if you panic, do you really panic? How much of it is yours versus how much of it is what you learn from others, including your mother or society, of how we need to react? Like they talk about the grandma whose grandson was in an accident and she lifts the car. Yeah, Granny was this like frail granny. And then the moment there's that emergency, she can lift a car. How many of us think we can lift a car? I doubt that Granny thought she could lift a car even before that moment, but it is those moments when it's required, you are willing to be everything. So what if you didn't have to wait for an emergency? What if you didn't have to wait for an emergency to actually generate and create and have more money? Money is something every single person, no matter how much money you have, everyone thinks they have a money problem, even if they're billionaires, okay? But what if it's not? What if you did not have to just create to make ends meet, to go paycheck to paycheck? What if it was about your willingness to be grateful for you and for you to say, okay, if I didn't panic, if I went into space of relaxation, if I was willing to just be grateful for the money I have now, I have $1 in my bank account for the next year. How does it get better? I have $1. I'm going to be grateful for that. Instead of going into the lack, the limitation of it, or I'm trying to remember the other word. There's another, the opposite of abundance. I don't remember what it is. Starts with a P. Anyway. It just goes to that place of the world is abundant. But when you are judging you, or you're judging others, you're judging the business, you're judging the bank account, you go to the scarcity. That's one of the words, scarcity. You go into scarcity instead of abundance. And guess what? In scarcity world, it's the opposite of where the money is. Scarcity is here, money's here. Money and abundance and joy and all those things are up here, energetic frequencies, okay? So when you go into, poverty, that's a good one, Naomi. Yeah, it is interesting. Ooh, penury. I love you all. You're good. Next time I write an article, I'm going to do it on a Facebook Live. You guys come up with some really good words. But yeah, I wonder, So as we reflect on 2018, what else could we be grateful for? I was laughing. One of my targets for 2018 was to be in another book and to also write more articles and things of that sort. Like I had all these little targets. And what was very interesting is that I am going to be in a book. It got delayed. It probably will publish in January, February now. It's called America's Leading Ladies, and I'm in it with my friend Oprah, that I've never met, and a bunch of other people in the US who are pretty cool chicks. And I wrote, I don't even know, like over 30 articles that got published this year, not to mention everything else. And it's not about bragging, it's not about that space of it, but there is an acknowledgement you have to be willing to have. Because most of us, if you're like me, which you don't have to be, we're constantly creating and we're constantly gifting to the world. We're constantly doing things and we're off to the next thing. And very rarely do we reflect on what we actually accomplished. So what have you accomplished in 2018 you haven't acknowledged yet? And if you did acknowledge it, how much could that actually leapfrog what you're creating in 2019? Oh, thank you. I know, I'm so looking forward to the book. It's quite interesting. Yeah, I'm really, really looking forward to it. I was in one a few years ago called Leaders and Legends with Steve Jobs and Deepak Chopra and all these other people, Susie Orman and others. And it was interesting how that one came up on my birthday from an ask that I had. And when I was asked to be part of this, at first I said, no, I don't have the time, because there's a lot of writing and other things involved in making this book come alive. And I didn't say no, but I wouldn't say yes. It took her 3 months to convince me to be in this book. And then I was like, what the fudge? Like, why would I have not said yes at the beginning? And I actually realized I followed the energy. So that's the other thing, you guys. Are you following the energy and haven't acknowledged it? And would you be willing to be grateful that you do follow the energy? What I realized is during those 3 months, there's a different energy that I could be with this book. And even the words, even the information that ended up being shared was very different than if I would have written it at that moment when I was first asked about this book. So I never went into Wrongness that I didn't say yes. But how many of you guys do? If you do, please, would you be willing to consider, instead of going to Judgment, ask, what am I aware of here I haven't acknowledged yet? Because what I actually found is that so many times it seemed like I was procrastinating or I wasn't choosing, but I was actually following the energy and saying yes when the energy created greater. So please, what if 2019 could be so different in the way we have gratitude for ourselves, gratitude for every single person in our lives, whether they're family, whether they're friends, clients, colleagues, random strangers. I meet a lot of fun random strangers in the world, especially on airplanes. So I'm looking forward to all the fun people I'm going to meet in 2019. But gratitude, it's going to be different for each of us. How much more can we add to our lives? I know this is a Facebook Live that took a lot longer than I imagined, so I'm going to say goodbye. But I do hope that I get to see you guys in person, online, somewhere in 2019. And I wonder what you, your bodies, your businesses desire to create. I love you too. And what else is possible that just we've never, ever considered? Because we kind of think big. Most of us think small. Our asks tend to be very small, actually, compared to what we can create. So I wonder what bigger asks we can also have in 2019. Because what if your body and your business actually want to create a heck of a lot more than what you've been willing to allow them? Control freaks. Yeah, come play with me. I'm doing a call about control freaks, using it to your advantage. I think it's in March. I can't remember. If you guys want to know where I'm going to be or what I'm doing, globalwellnessforall.com, our website, and the Facebook. The Facebook tends to have majority of it, not all of it, but it's there. So if any of those creations might be fun for you, come play. But gratitude for you. And I'm so grateful for all of you guys. I'm so grateful for every single one of us out in the world. You don't even have to be on Facebook. I'm still grateful for you. It's just a gratitude that every single one of us is unique. And we make the world so much brighter and so much greater being us. And the minute that we're willing to actually acknowledge that, what else does it skyrocket into possibilities and into creation? So what else is possible? Until next time, my friends, Happy New Year. Happy New Year. All right. Talk to you soon. Bye.